That's a wall of bees. Yeah, it's a wall of bees. Hi, my name is Myron Tanenbaum. I live in Denver, Colorado. I am a bee helper. For people who don't know what that is, or explanation of it, I save honeybees. I get them out of structures. I do what they call extractions. I also do swarm removals and things like that. I have hives that I sell and use, and I put hives in people's yards for them to enjoy the bees and use them for pollination. Maybe get some honey in the process. I'm out here in Westminster, and we have a house here that was attacked by flickers, which is kind of a woodpecker. They tore a hole in the side of her house, and the bees found the hole and they moved in. We're going to take a look inside the wall and see where they are, how big the hive is, and how easy it's going to be or difficult it's going to be to get them out. They're about 14 feet off the ground. Uneven ground, of course. We're going to check the wall. I'm going to try to find out where the hive is by the temperature and a probe, and also by the camera. We'll be able to have a video of the inside of the wall, and so we'll be able to see the actual bees inside the wall. But by the time we get done, we'll know exactly what it is, and then we will come back another day. We'll start first thing in the morning. We'll take apart the wall, get the bees out, put them in a hive, and then leave the hive here for a day and let them go to the hive as their new home, and then we will relocate the bees at night so they're all gone and none of them are hanging around. From what I can see in the middle of the opening, the comb is a lot older than just brand new comb. It was either a existing hive that the flicker uncovered, or that they've been there longer than she thinks they've been there. So the flicker might have smelled the honey through the wall, and that's why he put a hole through it. So next step, put the camera in there and see what's inside. If there's not a lot of room to look, so it won't be real impressive, so we'll try. Hello, bees. What we're looking at is the entrance to the hive in the wall, and I'm going to try to nuzzle in between these bees and get a look at the comb. So we're literally touching them. Don't ever blow on bees because they don't like carbon dioxide. But if you want to get them out of the way for a little bit, sometimes it works. It ain't gonna work. There are so many bees climbing on the lens, I can't get a picture of the comb. They've built the comb all the way out to the edge of the wall, and that's why I know that this is not a new hole. This is just not going to work. Here we are back on day 2 of the job. We kind of ran out of time and light last night. The bees were not cooperating, and I couldn't get good video from the inside. We're going to be doing exploratory on the wall like yesterday, but this time we're also going to drill some holes in the wall, very small holes, and we're going to check for honey in different compartments and see if we can narrow this down a little bit so that when we do open up the wall that we know exactly where we're going. And there's no science, I mean perfect science to this, but we try to take out as many of the variables as possible, so you don't want surprises. So So I'll put on my bee suit, and we're going to go up the ladder, and the bees remember me from yesterday, and the minute I go up the ladder they will start flying. And my phone rings. And the answer is no. None here. There's nothing here. Woodpecker went through there, the flicker went through there, also went through here. There's dead wood behind here. I mean, it's just wood, there's no hive in there. And this one he was trying to get through, but he didn't. That would have been another home, but he probably got chased off by these guys. Bee extraction business is not only bee extraction, but there's a lot of other things that go along with it. You never know when you're going to be a tree trimmer or a carpenter or what it is to make the job go, because once you start an extraction you just have to keep going. You can't stop. And in this case it's trimming a tree, so maybe we can put up a tarp to save us from the afternoon sun. You just need to continue the job until it's done, because the bees need to get out of the vacuum and into their hive with their queen so that they can start setting up their new home. After we open it up and I cut pieces of comb out of the hive, this is stuff that I'm going to actually be taking out of the hive. What I will do, ouch, something got me. What I will do is I will take that comb and I will put it in here like my fingers are, and then I will move the rubber bands over to hold it like this, so that when the comb is in here it stays up and down. And then I will hang the comb with the bees and the babies and all that stuff into here, and we'll just keep doing that until they're all out of the wall and they're in here hanging. And then we'll let the ones out of the bee vac, which is over here, and we will let them out of here back into here, and then we'll let them sit there for a day and get used to their new home, and then we'll move it. We got to save the bees whatever we do. It's just that there's a lot of people out there that don't think that it's important till they're starving and don't have any food to eat. Then they'll wake up, but then by that time it'll be too late. So every third bite of food or something is pollinated by a bee. If they're gone, then we're pretty much gone. So I think it's like 2 out of 3 bites that we take all has something to do about, with the bees and their pollination and stuff. And once they're gone, you're going to run around doing it with a Q-tip, and that's not going to work very well. You have to really like bees in order to do this for a living. But I really do like the little critters. And when I find out people are going to kill them, it just, I mean, they didn't do anything. All they did was get in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's not their fault. They didn't know. And we just need to move them and get them out of the way. It is extraction day. Today we're going to take the bees out of the wall, put them in their new home. We are going to pull a tarp up for some shade because the afternoon's going to get kind of warm. After we get the tarp up, we will cut the wall and remove it, and then start taking the bees out and putting them in their new home. So it's a do or die situation, so we just got to keep going until we're done. So you'll probably see a lot of my back. I won't be able to look at you all that much, but that's good for you guys. So at any rate, we're going to get the suit on and go up there and remove some bees. Moving out of the way so you can see a little bit. That's a wall of bees, and the comb is running vertically, and that is a whole cover of bees. They're protecting it right now. Here's the dividing header of the top of the house. This is the attic. This is the header over your window. They're on the side of the window, and I believe they're all the way down the side of the window. If it doesn't have a stop, they could be even farther. So we're just going to keep taking off the stuff from the side here down until we get to where the hive ends, and then we'll stop and continue with the extraction. Okay, the guys that did your drywall stuck a bunch of junk in your wall. There's no insulation. This is the size of the comb from left to right up there in the wall. So this is one of the outside pieces. This is about 1-year-old comb, which is down at the bottom where they're continuing to build it. There are 3 sections of comb, and those go all the way up 3 feet. So there's probably about 30,000 bees in there. So if they were left in there, they would continue to build all the way to the floor, and they would fill the whole entire cavity if they were left alone. So now all we got to do is go up there and get them out of there. Right now we're going to start vacuuming bees off the face of the comb so that I can see what's there in the way of brood and babies and stuff like that. This is the holding portion of the bee vac. We'll let the ones out of the bee vac into the main hive. They'll be able to crawl down through there to the queen. So we want them to be comfortable in their new home. If they're comfortable being in there, they'll stay. If not, they could just swarm out and go. And they could even do that anyhow. And that's what they call absconding. The hive is really heavy, probably 150 to close to 200 pounds. I'm the only person that does it, so I have to have a rope system. The reason that we move the bees at night is so that they are all at home in the hive, and we move them all at the same time so there are no stragglers left in the ladies' yard at all. Then we'll patch up the house.